Hello, guys. Welcome back to a full playthrough edition. Or rather, we're calling this the Spooktacular full playthrough. The Spooktacular edition of our full playthrough, that is, because it is Halloween season as of this recording. And, well, also, funny story. This wasn't one of the two games that I had in mind when, when I decided to do what I planned on calling it Spooktacular playthrough. I wanted to choose like a horror theme or anything that involved the supernatural. That had a supernatural theme to it. The Sinking City was not one of them, but I decided to play this because in one of the social media groups that I'm a part of in Facebook, they brought up this game multiple times, and I remember they brought this game up a couple of years ago on PS4. And I kind of missed it because there was other games in the way that I wanted to play with. But more importantly, I believe it came out around the time the PS5 was launched, or maybe a little bit sooner than that. I forgot the time frame, but I'll look into that later on. But this kind of came out of left field, and so I actually chose this game. The original game that I wanted to play was In Sound Mind, but at the last minute, I kind of looked into it and see, and between the two, I think the Sinking City may be somewhat a little more appropriate in terms of a horror theme game. So I chose this game for our first of two Spooktacular playthroughs. There is a second game that I'm going to play later on, but I had to actually order it because it wasn't available in any store. So that's going to come into the mail fairly soon. But we're going to start this game, The Sinking City. And this game is inspired by the Cthulhu mythos that's written famously by H.P. Lovecraft. Cthulhu, the big deity with all those tentacles and whatnot, and then there's like a bunch of other creatures as well too, like Cthulhu, who's the daughter of Cthulhu, and all those other deities from the mythos of H.P. Lovecraft. So uh, yeah, this is the game that I'm going to play right here. I've read that this game is... Wait, hold on. Let me look at the newcomer, detective. Let me see. Hold on, hold on. Evidence. Don't have an icon. No. The master says, "Whew, you will receive no hints, no prompts to visit. You won't be... Not sure. You know what? Let's do detective. No hint icons, leaving you to work out what action to take next. Oh, let's do that. So I want to give myself a little challenge here. And normal, standard. We'll do normal. Give myself some challenge as well. Let's see what else here. Compass, keep that on, keep that on, keep that on, keep that on. Yep, turn that off. Au revoir. Tea. Oh, nice. Some fried Chinese, Japanese. Wow. You're like, holy crap. Almost 15 languages there. Okay. Camera sensitivity. I'll play with that later on. So, okay. Video. Let's see. Yep, play with that. Audio. Turn everything up. Leave that there for now. Okay. So, but anyways, as I was saying, yeah, I I made the decision to actually buy this at the last minute, so um, that's what I wanted to do something that was horror themed, like I said, because it's October right now, so I thought this was one of the appropriate games I felt that we could play during the Halloween season, which we're in right now. Casebook contain. Hang on, I'm gonna read this for a moment. Okay, so the way I gathered it, I've looked into this game before, is that this is like a mystery adventure, semi-horror game, or maybe fully horror, but we'll see. I'm gonna be doing a lot of investigating. Okay. Speaking of investigating, I'm looking forward to more full playthroughs. I was checking out Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1. That game is not available via print or, by physical copy, so I'm actually looking into see if I'm gonna play that sometime towards the end of the year, or maybe sooner than that, but we'll see, based on the time that I have with my schedule. Oh god, it's a way to keep our health and our sanity up to par. Okay. Oh, we get a dive? Okay. Alright, let's see the controls. Okay, I'm ready. So this game was originally released in last gen, like PS4 and Xbox One X, as well as PC. There was some issues earlier this year where the developer of this game, Nacon, they tried to release this on Steam, but apparently the developer of this game, Frogwares, the publisher Nacon wanted to release it, but the developers, Frogwares, that's the company that developed this game. There was some sort of Digital Millennium Copyright Act issue where Frogwares didn't want Nacon to release this game on Steam, so there was some legal battle between those two. Basically, they were fighting from the inside out, so I believe they did release it on Steam. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to look into that. But as of right now, this game is available. This game was released on PS5 digitally earlier this year, around February. I remember this game. I kind of went back and forth in this game between yes, I want to play this, yes, maybe not. Yeah, that's where we're at right now. Johannes Vanderberg, okay. The casebook and Mind Palace contain the information you need to figure out your next. Okay. Alright, so here's the story.
Never trust a tourist advertisement.
Ooh, I got a camera. Nice. Okay. Ooh, got myself.
Hope I never have to use it. But something tells me I will.
Side cases. This is gonna be. I'm predicting this playthrough is gonna be just as long as the first two playthroughs of Judgment and Lost Judgment. This may range between 15 and 20 episodes. Let's see here.
Now get out! Now get out!
I don't know, like, thanks for riding with this nasty boat.
At last, Mr. Charles Reed. What a pleasure to finally meet you in the flesh.
Nice to meet you.
Johannes van der Berg, at your service. I did promise to meet you the moment you arrived.
Ah, much obliged, Mr. Vanderberg. I guess I didn't expect you to mean so literally.
Please call me Johannes. But where are my manners? Welcome to the proud city of Oakmont. Alas, now is not its finest hour, though it is its most important.
You said you know someone who can help me with my problem. The visions have been getting worse.
Such vividness of dreams is not uncommon here in Oakmont. By chance, the man I spoke of, Robert Throgmorton, is already at the port. He has dedicated a lot of time and effort to investigate this issue. Alas, I fear he has a more pressing matter on his hands.
How can I find Mr. Throgmorton?
Don't worry, you can't miss him. Throgmorton tends to stand out from the crowd.
I'll need a place to lay my head while I'm here. Any recommendations?
Fear not. I've already fettered a nest for you. There's a room in your name at the Devil's Reef Hotel. Here's the key.
Sounds charming.
Don't judge a book by its cover, Mr. Reed.
What's the best way to get around Oakmont? I'd like to drop my things at the hotel.
Most locals go by foot, or by boat. I've got the latter sorted for you. There's one waiting outside the port.
You're too kind, Johannes. Can you steer me towards the Devil's Reef?
Take this map. I've marked the hotel and a few other key places.
Other places? Like what?
You're a private eye, yes? Well, I've highlighted the police station, city archive, newspaper. Places you'll need to get to the truth. This city is insular, its ways mysterious. No one will take you by the hand, so you better know where to turn in search of a lead.
How do you fill your days, Mr. Vanderberg?
I host a philosophy club for the like-minded intelligentsia, gathering seeds of thought, like moths drawn to a flame.
Does Oakmont really have much of a market for philosophy these days?
There is no consciousness without pain, Mr. Reed. No better moment for clarity than times of hardship.
Oh, that's it for now, I think. Thanks for helping me get my bearings.
No. The pleasure was mine, Mr. Reed.
Oh, before you go, how can I get in touch with you later?
Don't worry about that. I'm the kind of man who finds you. We'll meet again, Mr. Reed.
Oh, we can get access to the other dialogue options? Okay. It's not that important. This looks to be a fairly big city. Where the Cthulhu mythos, I know it's part of the mythos or whatnot and one of the features of it, but man, H.P. Lovecraft had a big with tentacles at that. Can I fall down here? Oh, I can't swim, okay, I can get back up. I'm not gonna do that again. I get to climb up anywhere.
Hey, knock it off!
Let me scout out this place first, see if there's anything around here. Look at the way he moves. Oh my god, wow. That is so glitchy.
Where's your Oberon, huh, Titania? Something with this helmet gives me chills. What's wrong with it? Something with this helmet gives me...
You like it here, newcomer? Well, get used to it. No one leaves Oakmont nowadays.
You mean that no one leaves Oakmont because of how rainy and wet it is around here?
I don't care about your petty excuses. No one leaves the port until my son is found, and that is final.
It's ugly.
Excuse me. Are you Robert Throgmorton?
I am, but not interested. Go away.
The name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator, just arrived from Boston. I was told you might be able to help me.
Private investigator, you say? Well, perhaps we can help each other.
Let me ask him that question.
Please forgive the question, but I've never met a man quite like you before.
That's because no man measures up to the Throgmorton lineage. Proud and powerful blood flows through our veins. My father united with a certain royal family, which has blessed all our offspring with these exquisite features.
I've heard you're the man to speak to about visions, outbreaks of hysteria. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it myself.
Another newcomer with another problem. Yes, I know what you speak of.
Can I ask you a few questions?
How dare you? My son Albert is missing, and no one in this Innsmouth-ridden city will do a damn thing. But yes, let's talk about your dreams.
If I may ask, what happened to your son?
Why do you care? What's your angle, outsider?
Well, like I said, I'm a PI. Finding people is kind of my specialty.
Is it? Well, Albert was part of a deep-sea expedition I commissioned. This useless fool over here says he found Albert washed ashore in a lifeboat. Says he was barely conscious, out of his mind, talking gibberish in some other language. That he even tried to bite him.
And you don't believe him?
Complete malarkey. I know my Albert. I raised him strong and smart, the best of his kind. It couldn't have been him. Albert's disappearance is the work of Innsmouthers, mark my words.
I take it you're not the biggest fan of these Innsmouthers.
Those fish-faced freaks have overrun this city since the police burned Innsmouth to the ground. But now, those filthy migrants occupy half this damn city. The port, Grimhaven Bay, Salvation Harbor, the shells. They are everywhere.
So they're just refugees?
Hardly. They've taken work from the local fishermen. They stir and agitate against us, the Throgmorton family. We are the pillar of this community, not to mention that crime rates have skyrocketed. Simply speaking, they are a big stinking pile of trouble.
Mr. Throgmorton, let me help you. I'm rather good at tracking down missing people. I'll find Albert.
What makes you think you can do it? Oakmont is not exactly friendly to new arrivals.
Let's just say I tend to see things that others miss. And anyway, what have you got to lose? Sounds like you could use every man you can get.
Vera. You have a point, newcomer.
Sorry, did you just say Vera? What does that mean?
You had better get used to the Oakmont dialect, outsider. That is, if you want to fit in. It is a fascinating blend. Vera means fine. I was saying, we have a deal.
I see. Thank you. I need to know more about what happened to Albert.
Dane, did you not listen at all? I already told you everything. After leaving on the expedition, Albert was found on the shore in a lifeboat. This fisherman supposedly brought him to their house, and then left to call me. But when I arrived here, my son was nowhere to be seen.
Anything else?
Clearly, something suspicious occurred inside the house. I suggest you stop dawdling and go see for yourself.
Where's the house where this all happened?
For Kay's sake, I thought you were a private eye. Was standing right in front of it.
You mentioned a lifeboat. Is it still around?
Yes. Face the house, then to the left is a beach that borders a fence. You'll find it there.
As much as I'm enjoying the weather, Mr. Throgmorton, it's time for me to get started.
Find my son, newcomer, and be quick about it.
I want to say please.
Mr. Throgmorton, I found this in the lifeboat. Looks like it's your son's will.
Give it to me. Oh, my boy, what did you get yourself into? If only I hadn't sent you on that cursed expedition.
Bye.
I gave you clear instructions, did I not?
I've said everything I know.
Don't do anything stupid, newcomer. And keep your hands where I can see them.
This is gonna be a long one. I'm trying to figure out how to play with this. What is this?
Join in, newcomer. Praise the sea with us.
Yeah, I think I've overstayed my welcome in this area. Let's keep going.
Something with this helmet gives me chills. What's wrong with it? Something with this helmet gives me chills. What's wrong with it?
Wait, why was the screen like that? Hold on.
Something with this helmet gives me chills. What's wrong with it?
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
It would take tremendous effort to move this thing, let alone tossing it over like this. There was a fierce fight here, but someone tried to flee. Hello? Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, my head. What? Who are you? Are you police? I've already told them everything.
It's okay. I'm Charles Reed, Private Eye. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son.
Oh, okay. What do you want?
Tell me about yourself.
Name's Will Hammond. I'm a fisherman. We all are. Live here together. Me, poor fella Paul, Barry, and Innsmouther Lewis Flynn. We moved here after the flood. I worked on the railroad, but the rail ain't kicking anymore, so I started fishing. It was at or starve.
I want to know what happened here. Every detail.
I don't remember much. Me, Paul, and Lewis, we were here. This is our house. Barry was outside, on his business. Then he came back carrying Throgmorton's son. He was unconscious, barely breathing. Barry left again to call Mr. Robert.
Then what?
We put the guy in Lewis's room. Then he started to make these horrible sounds and... okay, my head began to burst. And he woke up. And after that, I don't remember a thing, just dreams. Drowned streets, a sleeping giant, a voice that called me.
That sounds familiar. Who is this K you keep mentioning?
Outsiders, show some respect. K is our lord, our light, our love.
Sorry, I didn't know. Where are all the other guys?
That's Paul there on the floor. K be with him. Barry's outside with Mr. Throgmorton. Lucky rascal missed everything. And I have no idea what Lewis or Throgmorton's son got to. Starting to suspect the worst.
Do you know how Paul died?
I don't know. When I pulled myself together, he was already gone. May have mercy on his soul.
I'll leave you to it. Take care of yourself, Will.
Please, Detective, sir, tell me the truth. Could it be me? Did I kill Paul? Or, did I kill him?
I don't know yet, Will. The police will stop anyone coming in or out of here, so I suggest you just try and get some rest.
I'm afraid of what I might dream. head. I still hear those voices.
Choo choo. Ahem. Choo choo. Ahem. I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp. I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp. I'm surprised they don't have someone's portrait here. I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp. Never seen knives like this before. Masterful work. Seems like Prohibition hasn't affected Oakmont too much. So, that's what an Innsmouther looks like. I'm surprised they don't have someone's portrait here. Five cards short of a full house. Choo choo. Ahem. with this helmet gives me chills. What's wrong with it? The book is damp and damaged, but clearly well cared for. Huh. This dog mat looks better than the owner's bed.
Glenna, Nechri, Glenna, Gebheil, Nugulina.
I guess we're gonna see what happened.
Take this, ape face. Yeah, run!
What's happening?
Okay, let's see what we have here.
What's happening?
Take this, ape face. Yeah, run!
When Albert Throgmorton woke up, he was not himself. He attacked the fishermen, and his hysteria spread to them. When he got wounded, he fled.
Oh, I get it now. Okay, I'm starting to understand this.
So the fisherman pursued Albert, even let off a few shots. Even though Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high. Robert wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong. Even though Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high. Robert wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong. something in the pocket. The blood is fresh. Whomever it belongs to could not have gotten far.
I'm not taking any chances. I'm gonna get my gun ready.
The door won't budge.
What the hell was that?
One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate. One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate. Mr. Throgmorton, I've encountered something,
What? I don't have all day.
some unusual creatures, and they sure weren't friendly.
You've seen a wild beast, Mr. Reed. I'm somewhat surprised to see you still alive. Those unsettling things appeared after the flood. I've commissioned a few studies on them, but we know little more than when we started. They're aggressive, but fortunately not immune to gunfire.
Yeah, I learned that firsthand.
Try to avoid them when possible. And when you can't, keep your weapons handy.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm afraid I have bad news.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I found your son in the basement of a nearby warehouse. I'm sorry, but he was murdered. Shot in the head and the body hidden.
No. It cannot be true. No, no, no. I don't believe it. No.
My condolences, Mr. Throgmorton. I'd hoped for a happier outcome.
Your condolences will not bring him back. So much of our blood spilt for nothing. So much effort in vain. My poor Albert. Tell me you know who did it. I want to look him in the eyes. Make him beg for mercy.
I don't know exactly. I have some suspects, but I need to investigate further.
What kind of private eye are you?
A thorough one. When I find him, I'll tell you.
Fine. No one leaves the port until then. Find me that dirtbag and I'll help you with anything you need.
Alright, so that settles that. So now I gotta... Hold on. Pokemon Port. That's this right here?
Got a spare bullet, fella? I ain't eaten in days. Oh, yeah. Hey, got a spare bullet, fella? I ain't eaten in days.
You look familiar, but old Billy hasn't seen you around.
Stay alert! Monsters lurk underground. They're everywhere.
Come closer, troubled soul. Let me tell you what your future holds.
You're some kind of, fortune teller?
Yes, my dear, yes. Oh, it's so clear. Your path holds many surprises, newcomer.
Really? Like what?
Not so fast, newcomer. I see many things. For a small fee, I'll tell you some of them.
All right, how much? $1?
Your money has no value here, newcomer. After the flood, Oakmonters deal in the practical. Booze, smokes, and bullets. And I'll make it easier for you. I don't smoke.
Let's hear what my future holds.
Good. Let me focus. The sea will be generous in the coming days. Many gifts delivered, and many will regret partaking.
I don't think I follow.
I see old and new. A hard heart against an iron will. Whoever wins, you win too. But you'll only see that from inside a metal cage. And tall pillars circled by the dead. A race from one to the next as time itself laughs.
Thank you. I'll keep that in mind.
You are welcome. I can't wait to see what you do.
Ugh, I'll miss the carpenter's food giveaway with this darn port closure.
Stay alert! Monsters lurk underground. They're everywhere.
What's your problem?
Welcome to Under the Keel. What do you want?
I've seen some unsettling creatures around. Like nothing I've ever encountered. What are they?
So you met a wild beast, newcomer. No one knows what they are, but consider yourself lucky to still be in one piece. They arrived in the flood. Some say they come from the sea. Others that they are Kay's punishment for us.
And what do you say?
If it bleeds, you can kill it. Keep your gun handy. And if you want to erase the memory, I sell a perfect cure right here. Remember, better to be a coward and live than brave and dead. Unless you're a newcomer.
I'm looking for a man by the name of Lewis Flynn. Any chance he's here?
Yeah. Even if I knew, I don't rat to newcomers.
As it happens, I know you owe a debt to Mr. Flynn. Trouble is, I found your note near the dead body of Albert Throgmorton, son of Robert. So, it seems Lewis is in trouble. Might have even come here to hide. But you hand him over and he won't be back to collect what you owe. Get me?
Throck. That would explain the blood. Fine. If it gets me out of this mess, you can have him.
So?
He's upstairs. Here's the key. You gotta promise to deal with him, once and for all. But save the shooting for outside, huh?
Smart man. There's your good deed for the day. Bye.
Bye. God, there's so much octopus here, man.
What the? Get the... Oh.
Hey, who are you? What are you doing?
Charles Reed,
hell is
private
that?
investigator. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son Albert, so I think you know why I'm here.
Throg. That darn bartender. It was all that crazy ape's fault. You hear me?
Calm down. I only want to speak, for now. But no, if you reach for your gun, you'll hit the floor faster than you can say poetic justice.
I got nothing to hide.
What kind of... why do you... your face, it's,
Oh, so you're here to attack me just because I look different to you? Want to spit on me, whisper to your friends? What's new?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't know how to ask. I've just never met someone like you before. I didn't mean any offense.
Innsmouther's bodies were blessed by the sea. You're gonna see a lot of us here, so you better get over it. We are proud of who we are.
Start at the beginning. What happened?
We were in our house, me, Paul, and Will. Barry'd gone to the sea. Though I told him that it would only bring bad luck. If he'd listened to me, we'd all still be alive.
Come on, Lewis. Focus.
Right. Well, Barry dragged that damn ape to our house. He was bragging about how much Mr. Throgmorton would give us for saving his son. But that ape, he was out cold. Then woke in an instant and started screaming, attacking us. After that, can't remember a thing.
You shot to kill. No warning, no second chances. You pursued Albert even after he fled. Why?
I can't remember it. When he woke, it was like a bloody mist descended over me. First thing I recall after is that darn warehouse and me covered in blood. I had no idea what happened, though I suspected it had something to do with that ape. Turns out, I was right.
I hear there's a bit of a feud between the Innsmouthers and the Throgmortons. Care to fill me in?
Those apes hated us from the moment we arrived in Oakmont. Our home was destroyed. We just needed a place to stay. The Blackwood Grand family sheltered us, but others were not as hospitable. We needed jobs, food, and medicine. The city denied it all.
And so?
We had to fight for every crumb of bread.
And those Throgmortons in their high castle only made our life harder, always conspiring behind our backs, always setting people against us. I'd love to see them suffer like we suffered.
You mentioned a grand family. What do you mean?
So you're a newcomer, huh? Explains a lot.
Yeah, a newcomer with a gun. Answer the question.
Okay. People here are crazy about bloodlines and tradition and reputation. The head honchos of Oakmont are called the Grand Families. There's the Carpenters, who control most of the city's underworld, the Blackwoods, who share kin with Innsmouthers through the Marsh family.
And let me guess, the Throgmortons.
Right, those filthy apes. Now that most of the Blackwoods are gone, there's nobody left to protect us Innsmouthers.
The things you did to Albert don't look like a bloody rage. A fatal shot to the head, a hidden body. One might start to wonder if it was deliberate.
I don't know what to say. I wasn't myself.
I think I've got all I need.
Please, Mr. Reed, don't tell Throgmorton about me. I know I'm in no position to ask. I didn't want to do whatever it is I did. Honest, have mercy, please. I have a family. Without me, they'll starve.
This is not exactly cut and dry. I need some time to think.
Perhaps I can offer something to grease your grinds. I still have a few bullets on me.
It turns out I arrived here unprepared for business. You give me a little something to get started, and my lips are sealed.
I knew you'd understand. Here you are, Mr. Reed. Please, I told you the truth, I swear. Please. I told you the truth, I swear.
You want a drink?
I tracked the murderer down, but he was attacked by those things prowling in the back alleys. And they tore him apart. There was that Innsmouther fisherman, Lewis. He was covered in your son's blood. That may have attracted the beasts.
Are you certain the body is his?
Beyond any doubt. All that's left of him is a heap of flesh and this scrap of cloth. It's from his jacket. Just ask his friends.
Alas, this was my revenge to exact, not some wild beast's. Something must be done about those pests. Still, justice has been served. This isn't closure, but at least I know now the story. Thank you.
Mr. Throgmorton, I hate to press you, but do you think you could help me now?
Yes, you've earned it. Gay to think a newcomer barely off the boat solves a crime the police couldn't, but I digress. Remind me, what brought you to Oakmont?
I think I'm going mad, Mr. Throgmorton. I see things, visions, and I needed to stop. I was drawn here, or guided, or I don't know. But I believe the source of this madness is here, in Oakmont.
You're not wrong, Mr. Reed. An inexplicable hysteria spread through Oakmont after the flood. I funded an expedition to explore recent geological activity that may be responsible.
Do these cases of hysteria involve shared visions as well?
Since the flood, many Oakmonters have had similar nightmares. Indeed, Professor Doe, the expedition leader, complained of them herself.
Waterlogged ruins with unnatural architecture. A sleeping giant, drowned streets, and a voice calling from the depths.
Her words exactly. She proposed the expedition, desperately wanting to find the cause.
A geological expedition? I'm not sure I follow.
I have reason to believe the Flood and this madness have the same source. As above, so below. So I sent men to find out.
Has your expedition found anything?
I do not know. Albert was part of it. His passing cannot be coincidence. Why was he alone at the port? And where are the others?
You think your son was killed because the expedition uncovered something?
Is it so hard to believe? I had no news for a week, then Albert, the only one I could trust, comes ashore and is killed.
It does sound suspicious.
Mr. Reed, I want you to find out what's going on. I expect you're as interested in the expedition's results as I am.
If I'm going to look into this, I'll need to know more. Where should I start?
I'll give you the address of the expedition's headquarters and a key.
That's all you can tell me?
Let me be clear, Reed. You do not speak to me like that again.
I'm sorry, Mr. Throgmorton. I just meant the more I know, the better.
I am a busy man. I funded the research, but left all preparations to Professor Doe and Albert. When you've finished, come see me at the Throgmorton family manor. It's in Old Grove. Here, I'll show you.
What about my expenses?
They will be reimbursed after you complete your task. And of course, you've earned some compensation for your work here at the port. I'll also include a fair advance in bullets.
Bullets?
The dollar lost its use here, Mr. Reed. After the Flood, Oakmont returned to bartering. Bullets mean more than bills. I gave you clear instructions, did I not?
Crew of the Cyclops. Semper Fortis, brothers. Never again, they say. No matter how much of this I chug down, the visions always return.
Yeah, that was nice from Mr. Vanderberg.
Makes this place feel more like home. I miss Boston already.
What the hell is this?
The door won't budge.
This place is seriously run down.
Finally, you're awake. Gotta tell you, though, mister, you want to stay on here, you stop making all that noise.
Noise? What noise are you talking about?
I expect my guests to be respectable. Moans, chanting, all that kind of thing. It stops, all right?
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't really remember what happened, but I'll do my best.
Yeah? Well, next time it happens, you end up sleeping under the bridge like the other newcomers.
You're not exactly friendly with your guests. Aren't we the ones keeping you in business?
All these newcomers after the flood, they're stark raving mad.
What do you mean?
You can't imagine the crazy notes and books I find after they move out. Only thing they're good for is lighting the kitchen stove.
Can I have a look?
I knew it. I tell you, no one sane would be interested. And you want to take a look? Well, fine. Take what you wish. I'm watching you, newcomer.
I'm standing behind the bar and I don't even work here.
Now, let me take a picture of this. This might be helpful.
I'm watching you, newcomer.
This guy right here.
The old papers are by the door. Take them and stop bothering me already.
I think you've got me confused with someone else.
Aren't you a newcomer?
Help me out here. What's the connection between newcomers and old newspapers?
It's cold sleeping in the street, and they come to collect the old newspapers for warmth.
Yeah, I guess I am a newcomer. Charles Reed, private investigator. And I also need your old newspapers, the archive, to be exact.
Ah, so you're the one who cracked the Albert Throgmorton murder case. Nice work. I'm Helen Bland. Say, can you do me a favor? Give me an exclusive interview. You won't regret it. The Oakmont Chronicle is the best newspaper for miles around.
All right, I'll be sure to make some time for you, Miss Bland. See you later. See you later.
I'll come back to her later on. She might be important later. Sun's pretty bright, even with the rain out. Let me stay away from that. That looks pretty bad. We're about to wrap it up pretty soon. Find a good stopping point first. No, this is gonna be helpful. I'll need this.
Hello, officer.
Well, look who finally decided to show up. If it ain't Charles Reed, the genius that cracked the case of Albert Throgmorton. Captain Caleb Lyons at your service. What can we simpletons do to assist you, Mr. Holmes?
Do you and I have a problem, officer?
No. Aside from making everyone in the Oakmont Police Department look like idiots, let me be frank, newcomer. You ain't welcome. You slip up, don't cross a T or dot an I, and I'll treat you like every other criminal here.
Okay. Well, can I use the police archive in the meantime?
You can, but only because of Mr. Throgmorton's patronage. And heed me well, you're on mighty thin ice, and I'll be under it when it breaks.
Yeah, go suck a dick. Alright, we're gonna stop this right here. So I'm actually intrigued as to how this is gonna progress. I mean, so far you got a Navy veteran here who's investigating various cases, and in the middle of all this, he's having these hallucinations and visions of following his accident at the USS Cyclops, the ship that he was on. And now one of the abilities that he has, this this thing called the Mind's Eye, where he's able to see various visions, and he can look at certain events that have taken place in the past based on what he's collected and all the from the information he's gotten. Yeah, but I like this creepy atmosphere that it's that Oakmont has settled in. We just completed our first case regarding the murder of what's his name? Of Robert Throgmorton's son. So right now we're gonna do some explorations a bit more and check out the police archives, thanks to Dick Watt over here. So yeah, I think I just chose the right game for the special occasion we're in, given that it is the Halloween season, the Spooktacular special of our full playthrough here. Let's see, so we've got that done. We've just upgraded our first skill point here. There's a lot to explore. We're going to ignore this for the time being. Whatever that infested area is, we'll wait until later on to upgrade properly. We do got to go over here, though. Just got to touch base with Robert Throgmorton to take up another case. That might be what that is right there. That's what it is. So try to see what happened to this expedition that was lost at sea. So yeah, this is where we're gonna be at. So I think we're off to a good start. I mean, I'm trying to work out the mechanics here a bit. It took me a while to understand how the Mind Palace works. Basically, based on the evidence that you've collected, you have to put two clues together to deduce what may have happened. And as you collect more conclusions and then do more deductions, come to a conclusion. to complete the case that you've been assigned to. So that's that. We haven't encountered any combat. Well, other than the first one, we encountered a couple of wild beasts. Or I think we just encountered one so far. Haven't used my gun yet, so I'm looking forward to more investigations. Hopefully, we'll encounter more combat. I just realized that the blue is the river. Hence, where's my boat at? Well, my boat's around here somewhere. There we go. My boat's somewhere around here. I want to say it's somewhere down there. It's not visible yet because I'm really far away right now. So, next time we come in, we're going to do a little more exploration. Oh, there's the next boat right there. I want to get over there. So we'll do that. We're going to go up to Old Grove as we progress further into the story and try to see what we can do for Throgmorton to figure out what happened to his lost expedition. Other than that, guys, thank you for joining me on this new one, the Spooktacular special of our full playthrough. We'll see you then pretty soon. Alright, take care, guys.